Hi everyone, welcome into this week's my weekly CBS Fix. This week's video is dedicated to two very special people, Zelig and Judy Shore. Mazel tov to you upon your daughter's wedding. May you go from one simcha to the next. And mazel tov ahuva. May you and your husband build a bayis nema b'Yisrael. In this week's parsha, Parshas Vayaitzay, I just want to share with you a few words about the Mama Rochel, our Matriarch Rachel, who has shown every woman she's paved the way for every woman on the essential of what it is to be a mother. Now, I'm sure you remember from last year, a couple years ago also, when we spoke about Rachel's complete selflessness in the episode when she was supposed to marry when she was supposed to marry Jacob. Instead, her father, Lavan, brought in her sister to marry him instead. And Rachel and Jacob had special signs. That way Jacob could know that it's actually Rachel. And she was afraid for her sister's embarrassment. And so therefore she gave her sister the signs. That way her sister should not be embarrassed. And it's impossible for us to measure the level of self-sacrifice that this took. And she was giving up everything. She didn't know that Jacob would be willing to marry her after that. And plus she was also afraid that she would now have to end up marrying Jacob's wicked brother Esau. She gave all that up just for her sister's sake, so she shouldn't be embarrassed. And later, when Leah was the one that had children and she could not have children, so Rachel begged from Jacob, her husband, allow me to have children, meaning pray for me. And she instead decided to give her maidservant Bilhah over to her husband so that she can have children. Again, that was an incredible act of selflessness and self-sacrifice on her part, that her maidservant should be with her husband instead of her and possibly build through her. And that's actually what happened. Bilhah ended up having children. And Rachel said that she had children. Hashem heard my voice. So should we see that she actually prayed for that as well. And then later, Leah's son, Reuven, went out to collect some dudaim, which are either violets or jasmine, Rashi says, which seem to have been able to induce fertility. And Rachel wanted some, and she told Leah, I'll give you some in exchange for my husband. You'll go to my husband tonight, and instead of my husband coming to me, he'll go to you, and I'll get these flowers, and hopefully... Now, she did that, of course, only to be able to have children. But she gave up her husband to her sister, but she gave up her husband just so that she should be able to eventually have children. We actually know that she was actually punished for that, because she gave up the chance of being with the righteous Jacob, and because of that, she did not merit to actually be buried together with him. Where did she get buried? She got buried at the side of the road. Now, we all know today that ended up being for our benefit. And in that sense, Rachel continued to be the mother of the Jewish people, because historically speaking, when the Jewish people were exiled from Israel on their way down to Babylon, they were so dispirited, they were so disheartened. When they found her burial there, they were able to pray on her behalf, pray to God rather, that Hashem should listen to the Jewish people on her behalf, and that she always took care of our children. The Jewish people were begging Hashem, please, in her merit, please take care of us. And also, as Joseph was being sold as a slave down to Egypt, he also passed by his mother's tomb, and he prayed to her, and she said to him, don't worry, Hashem is taking care of you. And so therefore, really, Rachel and all her levels of self-sacrifice and she actually ended up becoming the mother, the spitz mother that we say in Yiddish, the epitome of what it is to be a mother. Always giving and always thinking of others, and even if it meant that she would get, that she may not have completely gotten what she wanted because she thought she would get the 12 tribes, she was willing to give that up. She thought she would be with her husband, she gave that up. It didn't matter. When it comes to being a mother, sometimes she'll put everything on the line just for the sake of her children. And she's actually the Mama Rochel that we have. Women, countless women today go also to her, women who cannot have children, and pray to Hashem in her behalf the same way Hashem listened to her. Please listen to us, allow us to have children. So if anything, she's the quintessential mother. God willing, by all you girls out there, you should become the mothers and be mothers amongst Klal Yisrael. Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful, wonderful Shabbos.